Yes, it is I, your humble host, Bill Hatch the Third, coming to you live from the palatial studios of Bald Spots Productions here in the beautiful city of Irvine, California. Oh, I almost said Santa Ana. That would have been quite the mistruth, but that's where the home studios are, where I used to broadcast not quite after midnight. But I am joined here by Philip Galinsky and Linwood Jackson Jr. So welcome, gentlemen. Remember, this is a three-way discussion, so feel free to talk to each other and me, and we're going to have a good time finding out more about each other.
For sure.
Very good.
Awesome. Okay, so let's get us started with the introduction. Since you've popped up on my screen first, Philip, how about you give us a brief introduction of yourself?
Hello. Thank you for having me. It's really cool to be here with both of you and the entire internet. So that's cool. My name is Philip Galinsky. I'm an actor, a writer, producer, voiceover artist, uh, enabler. I can say that. And I like to enable. So that's who I am, and that's what I'm about.
Great. And Linwood, how about you?
Yeah, same. I can agree with that. I am an author, writer. My books are focused on devotional spiritual wellness or inward healing, assisting my audience recovering from whatever misinformation or thought pattern they may be having about their living experience or devotional religious experience, and assisting in a better envision or vision of life, and also giving them the courage and the strength to understand their past experiences happen for a reason, and their thoughts and feelings from those experiences presently matter to get them to a better outlook for where they should be.
Okay, great. Okay, well, what's everybody's current project? Linwood, what is it you're working on right now?
New book, A Faith That Works. Just looking at the reason why it is necessary for us to have a sort of understanding of who we are as human beings and who we are as not necessarily religious, but devotional or spiritual creatures in a holistic sense. Um, Getting the point being of empathy. Everything that we do for ourselves should result in us exercising a deeper level of empathy or benevolence to one another, and especially to the mind and conscience of others. So that's the project I'm now putting together for editing and publishing in the near future.
Wow, sounds pretty heavy.
It's it's um it's interesting. It's a lot of the times when I do speak to different people, I currently have a show on a religious network called Justification, and the feedback that I'm getting from the content that I'm putting out is that there's something missing in the religious world. There's something missing, especially in the seminary trained, and that is care for the
Okay.
audience. And so either pastors or individuals that are sitting there listening, they're letting me know that they're not comfortable in church anymore. They're not comfortable hearing the things that they're used to hearing.
Mm.
And I'm digging into their understanding. I'm seeing that there's not there, and it's not necessarily from the minister himself, but in the words. The words aren't caring for the conscience and the experience of people now. And so this work is just influenced on getting those types of leaders back to realizing that they're actually talking to human beings, and they're not talking to the philosophical figures that they've been.
Okay.
So I find it just completely necessary to just put that out there and out of it.
Doing something about it's a good thing because a lot of people realize some things are not right in the world, but don't actually get to the next step of starting to do something about it. And so that's wonderful. Philip, how about you? What are you working on right now?
I got a couple of things going on. Two web-based projects. One where I'm a part of a crew of homeless people that finds a baby
Okay.
and tries to figure out two things: how to take care of a baby, number one, and then number two, how to leverage, and monetize a baby. Um, and then I'm also in another series called Problematic, which follows a group of 20-somethings who are trying to work their way through Manhattan and New York City, and I run the local bodega or deli, and so they kind of come to me for advice for a day-to-day kind of thing. Not as good as Linwood, I'm sure, but it's,
Hey, we
No,
all need
not
we all need
well as a
entertainment.
deli guy could give advice. So two Lucy cigarettes and a cup of coffee goes a long way in giving people advice.
Yeah, for sure. But entertainment does often have the ability to take us to the next level, and
It does.
give us things to explore and wonder about and reflect upon our own lives. But yeah, um, let's see. What are some good things, Philip? Where would we know you from? What would be your most well-known works?
My calling card.
Yeah.
I was um, I was a auto mechanic in a critical, pivotal episode of Law and Order SVU, the original.
Okay.
Crazy.
But you might not recognize me because in that episode I had a man bun, and right now I don't have. Uh, I I do a lot of voiceover work, so any commercials for Toyota or anything like that, my voice is there. I was a bear that stole birthday cakes, and then Dora from Dora the Explorer teaches me how to bake birthday cakes so I don't steal. So I have that wholesome part of me, but I'm also the lead kidnapper in Grand Theft Auto 5, the video game, where I kidnapped Jonah Hill, which is,
Crazy.
yeah, it's very diametrically opposed to stealing birthday cakes.
Yes.
But I hadn't played the game or seen the game in many versions. Like the first version, I saw it, and then 10 or 15 years later, I'm the voice of it. And my nephew were playing it, and I was just like, I can't be your uncle. Like this is, you can't tell kids that that's my voice because it's so loud and vulgar and crazy. And he was like, "What do you want to do?" I said, well, we're leaving the house. I'm going to take you in the car. We're going to go get an ice cream because that's what a wholesome uncle will do. Drive you to get an ice cream. So you're
Ice
not going
cream
to tell
solves it.
right.
That's
You're
right.
not going to tell your parents about anything that I said or how many prostitutes we picked up or anything on the game.
That's so
And so
ridiculous.
we're driving, and he's like, "Hey, Uncle Philip, go drive up the curb and hit that old lady. We can get like 7."
No way.
And I was like, "Bro, this is real life. I'm in a car. I can't do that." So the line of where I am in the entertainment world and where I am with my family is very blurred. You know. To be the auto mechanic. The two lead characters that I were in the scene with, there was one line where I had to say it like a jerk, like just really not nice. And I said it, and the two main characters were like, if we were real cops, we would have shot you right then and there. And I was like, oh, okay. Well, at least I know I'm doing a good job. At least I'm authentic here, you know. So, and the two things that are going to come out soon, and I do other voice work for casinos and other things like that. But most of the stuff I try to do for myself, so I can produce my own work. I've done one person shows. One was about my Facebook page. One was about Craigslist, like the best of Craigslist. So it was about all the different postings. And then I have a new one coming out about flashcards. So that should be coming out in the fall. Trying to combine it between being a live thing and a Zoomy or Skypey kind of thing. That's kind of where I'm at this
Okay, cool. And Linwood, what pardon me, what's some of the work that you have done in the past that we might know you from?
Just before I say that, I just want to say I learned how to drive in Grand Theft Auto, and I know that sounds weird, and I know that sounds completely
point. It
weird,
does. Who's in the back seat?
but well, literally my uncle is the one that would like take me around and show me how to drive, and as I'm driving, I wouldn't look left or right as we're going on the highway, because in my head that's just not what I did in the video game.
Right.
But playing the game itself, you actually pick up little skills that you can, articulate into real
You know the
life.
best part. You know what the best part of the game is for me? I don't know if this is for you, but the radio station.
Oh,
Definitely.
yeah.
Oh my
It was
goodness.
amazing. That's when it was first came out. That's what I loved. I could care less about the driving. I was listening to the radio.
That game is intense and it's still going. That's nuts.
Yeah, it is. I remember when it was a 2D overview game. When
Yes.
Man.
yeah, and the cool thing for me was always the names of the cars, because like, oh, this is the car they mean to say. It's like, oh, it's not a Cougar, it's a.
They'd
They
rename.
were always dangling the copyright infringement.
Yep.
Walking the line.
But
They spelled Cougar wrong. Cugar.
Right.
to answer your question, it's I get a lot of responses, emails from people that have seen the Truth Seeker show. When did I go on there? Maybe 2020.
Oh wow.
I get a lot of messages from I saw you on the Truth Seeker show, and it's a show where I went on and I spoke about just fundamental philosophy from within the scriptures and then in religion also. And the host and I had a dialogue back and forth. And the people that do reach out to me let me know that that was very interesting to listen to, and the points that I gave and things like that.
Okay. Okay, that's cool. Have either of you been on a lot of podcasts, or is this something that's special?
I've been on radio. I got on the radio first, my first time on in 2017,
Okay.
and then I went from radio to podcast, 18 and 19. Then I network shows 2021, and I ended up getting my own show in 22.
Oh wow. Okay, cool. What's the name of your show? Linwood.
Justification.
Justification. Okay.
Yeah, it's been since September 21. It's been going,
Okay, great.
and basically just hashing out the human developmental part of the wisdom that is within the scriptures, getting, besides all of the maybe the mythological aspects, looking at the analogy in a more critical sense to get the wisdom from it to apply to our human being.
Okay.
So that's basically just what the entire show is about.
Nice. And where can people find it?
If you have you can download the app, the Preach the Word Network television station. It's based out of Atlanta, Georgia, but I record in Massachusetts and send it over to the station.
Okay.
You can download the app. There's a website. It's also on Comcast and DirecTV. I really don't know the channel because I don't have television,
Okay.
but they have their own specific channel you would be able to see on the TV guide and also on demand.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Okay. Preach the Word Network.
Yeah.
Are you you're based in Massachusetts?
I am, yeah. I'm
So
in
where
Massachusetts.
is it? Where's the wicked hard?
Oh my goodness. Oh
New
my.
York, forget about it.
Oh man, I do not have that accent, but
Yeah.
my buddies do. Like I tell the story all the time. There's like one time I was speaking to one of my buddies, and he was telling me, "Look at the atch on that kid." I was like, "What? Look at the atch on that." He's trying to say arch, like because the thing had a lean to it,
Okay.
and like look at the atch on that kid. Do you see that? Like, oh my goodness, I was dying. but I do not have that accent.
Yeah, the old look at the guy in the Harvard Yard.
Yes, a lot of my friends have it, and it's hilarious.
That's funny. We all have accents. Just depends on who you're with.
Because
Yeah.
you stick around them long enough, you'll be speaking that way too in like a
Oh,
day.
I know. I grew up in Connecticut and I moved to New York. Well, all my friends in Connecticut are like, "You have an accent." I'm like, "I don't have an accent." People in Boston have an accent. I'm like,
It's heavy.
yeah, park the car.
But you could tell the difference though. New York, Connecticut, Rhode Island, Massachusetts, Maine. You can tell.
Yeah, yeah,
There's the accent is there, but you can tell the difference.
yeah.
Yeah, I spent several years in Tennessee, and every now and again I'll say y'all, and
Got a little twang.
little bit, little bit.
Little twang.
But I'm in California now, so no accents here, nothing that interesting. Let's see. Well, let's ask some more podcasty questions. Um, what book has been the most influential on your life?
Uh, I could say currently, um, there's a book on acting from Jenna Fisher, who is Pam from The Office,
Okay.
and it's a good book about acting, but it's also just a good book about life. And so, basically, every audition is a job interview.
Mm-hmm.
So she kind of breaks it down into like just relaxing you, and you're gonna get every job to go the interview process, and things happen for a reason, and people are submitting you for certain, gonna get it, but it's more about building relationships and contacts. So it's a good book for anybody who's just trying to figure out why things are happening the way they are, or why people are, if you're in a certain industry, why it works this way. So I like it a lot because it was, first about acting, but then it turned into a whole like life lesson thing, and it took a lot of pressure off my brain for everything else, because I was like, oh, okay, she gets it. So
I should hope so.
yeah, if you do go to Amazon and just type in Jenna Fisher acting, it's a good book. It's a very good
Cool.
book. When I was a kid, it was Jonathan Livingston Seagull, but I might be too old for you guys to know that.
No, I know Jonathan Livingston Seagull. I'm not that young.
Okay, good.
Yeah, I turned 50 this year.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You're part of the tribe. Good for you.
Next month.
All right, good.
Yeah, I'll be jumping into another demographic. And be that.
Jeez, my future. I'm listening to my future right now.
As your peers, buddy.
That's right.
Get ready. What, you gonna come in another 25 years, you son of a gun?
That might be true, yeah.
Yeah. Nope, I'll be that much further away from cool. So.
That's right. And Google and Facebook will prove it.
Yep. Well, let's see. Let's see here. Let me see if Google knows I'm not cool yet. Let me get to Google. I don't even use Google to search anymore. But let's see what ads pop up when I bring up Google. Let's see. I'm feeling lucky.
The experiment.
Constipation, dairy.
Oh my goodness.
Vitamins.
See, there's the weather.
I'm not saying it's okay.
It brought up
Very
the weather. Yeah, it knows
Very
I'm not
important
cool.
in California. Yeah, that's huge in California to know the weather.
Yep. Yeah, that's what popped up. So as far as Google's concerned, I'm old enough to care about what the weather's like. It is.
Well, at least
74
at
degrees.
least it wasn't one of those progressive ads. You know, the auto insurance would turn into your parents.
Oh
So
yeah.
you're lucky.
Yeah. But I don't see any. I don't see any ad pop-ups. That's
Because
Could
they
be a
know
good
you're
thing.
too old. You're too old to play.
Yeah, I'm not gonna buy
I was
anything
gonna say.
online.
That could be a good thing.
How about you, Linwood? What book's been most influential on your life?
The Structure of Scientific Revolutions by Thomas Kuhn.
Okay.
That I went through that book just to learn this new word called paradigm. Didn't really hear that word until this book.
Okay.
It took you through how scientists, when they're elaborating their work, they stay focused on just one point of view and don't really look outside of the point of view that they're looking at. And it's when you get to that point where you can look outside of that, then that's where the revolution in thought happens. So that for me that was pivotal because I'm always studying the history of theology, history of religion, and why they really can't seem to break out of their perspectives to, you know, wider understandings of what they're actually talking about. So that getting that concept and applying that to my own work is that's helped me to reach a whole lot more people because now I can think about where their mind is at when I'm trying to, understand where they may need to be with the goals that they have told me that they would like to be at.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Being able to get your thought outside of yourself is definitely a big deal. Um, because thinking inside yourself, that's where things like depression and anxiety come from, really, and being able to put your focus outside of yourself is a big step in life for sure.
But I think about Phil though as an actor, the way you have to channel yourself, um, that sort of discipline is like the applied, I guess, active linguistic of it. How you can just, disassociate and then reassociate and then associate.
Mm.
I find that
That,
to be similar and interesting.
that's also sort of that like audition process where you're supposed to go into a room or put your camera on and be a character for that moment, and then go back and go to Google and click coupons and be your normal self, even though they wanted you to be a homeless man that found a baby.
Right.
So I kind of feel like everybody's got sort of those roles, and everybody is an actor. Some of them get paid for it, and some of them just live it. They have
True.
they have things and even if you're not an actor, you have a role to play. You're a mom, you're a dad, you're a brother, you're an uncle. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's an ever widening canvas.
The different roles we each play throughout the day in our lives. Um, yeah, I actually many years ago was in a production of a play called Noises Off, where I had to play two different roles in the course of the performance. I was Selden Mowbray, Ariel Selden Mowbray, the old actor who just couldn't quite seem to keep his brain together anymore. And then on stage, because there was a play within the play, he was playing a thief, and the director wanted us to play each role differently. And so Selsden in his normal life was just the grizzled old actor, um, with the posh accents and all that stuff. And but then when he got on stage, I had him perform as this over the top kind of Cockneyish kind of accent. And so I had to switch back and forth. There was one scene where I had to switch back and forth like two or three times within a couple minutes, and it was pretty funny. It was a lot of fun. We actually got nominated for an award for that. It was a community college performance, but but yeah, yeah, having to go in and go, okay, this is who this man is, and this is why he does what he does, and then come home and be okay. I'm not that anymore. Is definitely a big deal. Um, Not easy, but yeah. Let's see, where else can we go? Um, what are your three favorite movies? That's oh, here's a good one. If you could go back in time, would you choose the same career path, or would you do something different?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, I would do everything the exact same. Yes, yes, yes.
Same.
Okay.
As much as it sucks, to get to the point of where you need to be at. Hopefully, I can go back with the wisdom I have like right now.
Mm,
But I would do everything the same as much as it's like such a grind and you have to, um, you know, put yourself out there, kill yourself repeatedly, be killed repeatedly, um, have your work criticized and grow accustomed to the criticism, and then take the criticism and reuse it and rehash it as something positive. And I wouldn't change really
I
anything.
agree with Linwood 100%, but I also would say to you, Bill, if you asked us when we were 25 or 22 if we could change, we would have changed in a heartbeat because we didn't have the we
Yeah,
didn't have the, with the stones we have now. You know what I mean? And the experience we have now.
yeah.
Because
sucks.
that as a 22-year-old, oh, it's too hard, it's too rough. You got to go through it. You
Yeah,
cannot not go through it. You know.
I would think it would be harder to go through it if you knew what you knew now, because then you'd be in the position of like, oh, I know it all. I know why to do this, and I know how to do that, and I'm used to things being a certain way, but nobody wants to treat you that way because you're 22. And it's like, but you're used to being the CEO, but they want to put you back in the mailroom.
Right. I think it's one of those things where you you get more validation from your mistakes than your
Yeah.
successes because your
yeah,
successes come from your mistakes.
Right.
So if
yeah.
you don't make mistakes, you can't know how to get better.
Yeah.
And that's you're the Kardashians. So
So if I had to go back, then I would hopefully like to have all of the memories of my mistakes so that I could be more humble as I'm going through those things, and I can then know what to watch out for to hopefully make that path a whole lot quicker. And and
but
learn
when you
from.
do it, but when you Linwood, when you do it now, you seem cooler, right? Because you already
It's
know the
true.
and you're like, dude, this dude he's already figured it out. Yeah, yeah, because I got knocked in the head a couple of times and I don't want to do it anymore. You know,
It's true. It's true.
sometimes you can see it coming, and then you're like, nope, we're gonna take a right, even though I didn't look in the mirrors because I didn't learn GTA. You know,
Oh, that'll never get old. That'll never get old. Who needs rear view mirrors, and
that's it. I know they're overrated.
who needs them?
Who's going backwards?
That's right.
True. True.
Well, there's a reason why the rearview mirror is so much smaller than the windshield.
Oh my
Hey,
god.
that is crazy. Crazy good point.
Yeah. Yeah. What was the big turning point for you career wise? What got you on the path you're on now?
Tragedy?
Okay, I want to dig deeper into that. Was it a specific
uh,
tragedy or just tragedy in general?
the tragedy of graduating college and realizing I was an educated dummy and didn't really know what to do with myself,
Mm.
and taking that frustration out of myself. Um, I ended up using the gym as a way to get that frustration out, and I enjoyed the pain of that. And I use that pain as a form of, punishment for being so ignorant and following the perception of family and society of this is what my life needs to be instead of thinking for my own self. And it was from there that I realized that I needed to either continue to how far can I go with this pattern of not really understanding myself and living through a pattern of hate, or I can sit down with myself and understand what's wrong with me and what's wrong with my life. Why am I thinking about myself in this way and using this form of outlet for this purpose and all this, ended up like the supplement part of it, overdoing it, ended up being in a natural bodybuilding contest. As I was, I hurt myself to the point I ended up into the hospital and just laying there and wondering why the hell am I doing this to myself when I'm not getting it out of doing this for joy. I'm just frustrated with myself. So I need to figure out that frustration or not. And I decided to figure out the tragedy that I am, and that's when I began studying my mind pattern, and digging into philosophies and then seeing what other minds thought the way that I did, and that's how that happened from there.
Okay.
That was deep, man. That was very good.
Yeah.
I don't work out at all. My body is built by neglect, just so you know.
Oh man. Um,
But what was the original question?
What
'Cause I
what was
wanted
the
to.
big turning point? What got you on the path you're on
Oh,
now?
for me, for me, it was early success. I booked like a national MTV commercial on my second audition, and I thought it was going to be like that for the rest of my life. Like, just. And so when I got the early success, it was also a smack in the face because it isn't it isn't like that, you know. And then I had a realization because I was like Linwood, like trying to find philosophers or something that could explain how did I book a national commercial with hardly any experience and then dip off and not get anything for a while. And part of it was, called sort of like beginner's luck, or this one guy was telling me, he was like, like if you've never bowled before and all of a sudden you bowl and you bowl really good, and then the next time everybody tells you all these different techniques and all this stuff, and it messes with your head because you were just fine the way you were. You weren't thinking about it. You were just doing it. So I had to get out of my head and then understand that you can't book every audition, and you just need to do what you need to do. And if you get it, you get it. And if you don't, you don't. And if you get it, that doesn't mean you're better than anybody else. It just means that's what they liked. So it's more of a point of attraction than doing certain steps and then thinking everything equals to some certain result, which never, you go insane if you think that's the way it is. So I
Crazy.
didn't mind having early success. It was just that my dumb brain was like, well, this is going to happen every day. You walk in the store and you get it. It's whatever you want. So I'm glad I got it, but I'm glad that there was dips where I had to learn what was really going on.
Okay. Yeah. Is this what you wanted to do all along, or what? Was this something you wanted to be? Did you want to be an actor as a kid, Philip?
I had to be. I have four older brothers, no sisters, and in order to eat, I had to act, do anything to get food on the table.
Okay.
No, I'm just kidding. I I liked it. I liked what I saw on television. I didn't know how to do it, so I kind of just winged it myself, and then learned, from teachers and other things. But yeah, I was gonna do something like this. I knew that. I mean, it might have been. I do a lot of mentoring, so it might have transitioned into a coach or something, but it was going to be performance based. It's definitely going to be. I was going to be there. You were going to know who I was
Okay.
or who I am.
Right.
But well, you can't really know who I am. You know why, Bill?
Huh.
If you Google me, if you do Google me, there's another guy with the exact same
Oh
name
no.
who's a doctor of samba dancing.
A
I'm
doctor
not
of
making this up.
samba
I swear to you,
dancing.
a doctor of samba dancing looks nothing like me, but I still get messages like, "When's our next dance recital?" And I'm
Oh
like, I look
no.
nothing like this guy. And we are friends on Facebook and Instagram, and we laugh about the confusion. And I'm like, we both look completely not like each other at all.
Let's see here. I just did a search on Philip Galinsky.
Uh huh.
Let's see. There's you, and the other Philip Galinsky is number 3. Samba, New York.
Yes. There you go, baby.
Wow.
Do we look related?
That's hilarious.
I don't know. Let's bring up his picture.
That's pretty cool.
So I like that's what people are like sometimes when I'm doing these interviews. They're like, so when's your next samba? I'm like, oh, you got the wrong guy. I'm sorry.
No, he definitely does not look anything like you.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
On his LinkedIn, he is a teaching artist and ethnomusicologist.
Thank you. Very good. And if people have seen me dance, they would say I have epilepsy. So we have nothing in common.
That's funny. That's funny. How about you, Linwood? What did you want to be as a kid?
I knew writing or writer. I knew I wanted to write a book. I would write like little kid books and my own little kid bad drawings and call it my book. And but I didn't know I would actually be where I'm, I guess the path where I'm going right now. I just knew that it was in me to write, and I needed to write um, anything or something. I started with poetry at 7, and in 2020 I published my first book of poetry. So that was like ridiculous. But I knew it was writer. I knew something to do with writing. Didn't know what content. Didn't. I don't even think I cared. It was just I just need to write something.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Linwood, don't you think it's kind of strange? Like the calling, whatever the calling was not about money. Do you know what I mean? Like they're like, oh, you're gonna be a
Yeah.
writer, and then certain people, like if you met certain people at the wrong time in your life, and you say, oh, you're gonna be a writer, you can't make money at that.
It's true.
You're like, but that's what I want to do. Like I want to be an entertainer. I could, I don't, I mean, it would be great to make money at it, but that's what I wanted to do, or what I am. You know, how would
Even
I and the other Philip Galinsky ever get together if we both weren't entertainers? I'm sure he makes more money than me, bastard.
even now I've had to like ditch so many like marketing and branding folk just because of we don't know if this is going to be marketable enough. We don't know if this, we don't know if that, we don't know if, and then like maybe 6 months to a year later, it's bloody marketable. And I'm just looking at them like, okay, so this is where I am now, and you're still there trying to do what you do. And it's just, it's like you never get away from it. And especially in that early age, I can imagine how it might have been such a down.
Right. Or you know the circle of friends you grew up with take their different paths because they're like, well, I'd rather it be safe and make money and that's it.
Yeah.
And then they appreciate what you're doing. They can't wrap their heads around the risk that they're taking. When it's not a risk, if you believe it and you enjoy it and you embrace it, then there's no real risk. You know?
Right.
It's true.
Well, if there's no risk, then there's no reward either.
Right.
You
Right.
know?
But that is the reward to me. Every time I think about it, like I cannot die and not do this. Like I you know, I cannot live or die and not do this. Like it's the risk that is the payment for me. I mean,
Yeah.
I've gone past consequences. Like I've my work is public. I'm publicly theologically, religiously, philosophically. The points that I'm putting out there. For example, I've been blacklisted from shows,
Woo!
just because of my content is just not going with the trend in religion and such like that. So
Until 2 weeks from now.
until yeah,
You know what I mean?
or even a year from now, and it's one of those, we want to have you on now, because of the
It's
time.
okay now.
Yeah, because of the time that it took, or the space, I guess, for whatever acceptance needed to be. I don't know.
Well,
It's
acceptance
weird.
can take a long time. It's hard
Yeah.
to a friend of mine. His sister has recently left a particular group. I won't since this isn't the show. Since, well,
Yeah, yeah.
that she left a
Got you.
particular group, but she's having trouble and she's trying to become a Christian, but she's having trouble letting go of the specific details that this other group had been indoctrinating her in, and and it can be rough to get out of something that you've been so in depth with. Um, my friend himself, he's a smoker and he's been trying to give it up, but he didn't understand until I told him, well, it's just like you trying to give up smoking. It's like it's bad for you, but it's hard to give it up, and just because it's such a habit, and it really gets into you. And finally he kind of got it, and like, oh, so that's why she's having trouble switching over completely from this other group to being more of a Christian. And yeah, and it can be like that for just about any set of beliefs. We tend to look for things that affirm our beliefs, the as opposed to finding ways that we're wrong, because people don't like being wrong, and being shown something that shows that they're wrong is can hurt a lot, and so it's really difficult to get people to change their minds.
I guess that's just my mindset,
Yeah.
because I love to be not right.
Right.
I would rather, understand that I'm wrong, and
Mhm.
I'd love to dig into that mentality of myself, because I don't know, that's just how I'm built.
Yeah.
I like mistakes. I don't see failure as existing. Um, so I like to go through it, and I don't care how long it takes. I know I'm gonna be better from it, so
Well,
I just love that
like we
experience.
talked about before, failure can bring us much more than success. We learn, people learn a lot more from being wrong, from finding out that they're wrong, than they do from thinking that they're right. And yeah, failure is definitely a much better teacher. What was your best failure?
Jeez. Oh man.
There's a lot. There's too
Yeah,
many to talk about.
that's why I gotta think about it. Oh man, the best failure.
Best failure.
I was supposed to be the voice of the lemon for McDonald's strawberry lemonade,
Okay.
and um, I booked it. They recorded it, and then my agent was like, "This is gonna be it, man. This is the big one," because the lemon was bitter and he didn't need strawberry in his lemonade. Like, and I got paid for the recording, but it never ran. And then when it ran with a celebrity, Bobby Baklava from The Sopranos,
Okay.
Steve Shrippa. So he got it. And probably what happened was, then one of the meetings they were like, "Oh, this guy sounds like Steve Shrippa," and then they were like, "Why don't we just get him?" You know. So it was one of those. And I see him in the neighborhood, and I want to go up to him, but it's fine. I learned. I'm very calm about it. It hasn't affected me at all, and I'm happier for
Yeah, that's a pretty good failure. right there.
Yeah.
Uh, Linwood, did you come up with one yet?
I got more
Um,
Linwood if you need time, baby. I got
I have one. It was
you were the strawberry for the strawberry lemonade, you son of a gun.
that actually was me. I was silent just now because I didn't want to really say anything. That was me.
I knew it. But this is what Phil's master plan is. It's like a Jerry Springer show, right?
That's right.
Surprise!
Surprise! I'm really a horse. Uh,
But no, for me it was my first publishing company. They read my work and they told me that there was no writer writing about the content of religion or theology or philosophy as I was, therefore it wouldn't be um, fit to publish.
okay.
And I looked at them and I said, well, what's the point of having a publishing house? And then I pointed out specific works that they do publish that are just as and are even more confusingly detailed than mine. And so, like, what's going on here? Why are you publishing this? It's the same sort of style, same sort of everything. Just the content and the articulation of the theme is different from that work, but the same style is there. And all of a sudden, there's an issue with me. So that I would say was a great failure.
Okay.
Eventually, moving on to a better publisher.
Right. Right. Yeah. No, something it goes to marketing, and which is why I really don't like doing it. I double majored in college in marketing and management, and the marketing really it's given me an interesting point of view on life, but but yeah, because marketers like to market things that are already successful.
Yep.
And it's like that's why movie companies do sequels, why they reboot television shows, and why they well, shoot, you look at for a while there, it seemed like there were two movies every year about the same thing. Like what was it? Deep Impact and Armageddon came out in the same year. Two asteroid disaster movies, and and all, and then it's like two sets of superhero movies come out, and two sets of this come out, and it's the same thing with books and whatnot, because it's easy to market something that's already successful, because it's already been successful, and so rather than be unique and special, um, we all end up being the same.
And even down to the look,
Mm-hmm.
like literally, there would be shows I would get, and I'd be told, so you can't wear this, can't say that, you can say that, but say it not like how you said it,
Mm-hmm.
and you can do this, and it just got to the point where I could either remain with the crowded, you know, quote unquote help that you get when you're in that sort of situation, or I could just abandon it all and just go the hard route. And that's what I did while doing my best to stay in both worlds. And now, 8 books later, and the progress, I'm looking back at these folks and I'm just like, I don't,
Well, you got it. You got the
I,
greatest sentence in the world. 8 books later.
Yep.
Eat that. Have them eat that. Have them turn the pages and look at the publishing company that's got your 8 books later.
so frustrating. It's like, what the hell's wrong with you people? They wanted to turn me into an entertainer and not
Mm-hmm.
whatever. But
Sure.
now I get to a point where I'm on, getting invited to quote unquote academic podcasts,
Wow.
and with the material that is out there of me now, they're looking at me now as an entertainer and not as an academic person. So like, bloody hell. What the? There's like you can't please. There's no you can't really please anyone. So it's just like I'm just gonna do what I do.
Yeah, for sure.
Different different world, or people are weird.
Well, yeah, that's true. Cool. Um, what's been your favorite job so far? As far as things, what's your or Linwood for you? I guess it'd be what's been your favorite project so far?
Mm. Um, well, I would say my show because I fought so hard with religious journals and such, um, back and forth with their publishing, trying to get into their head of what they actually want this religious, you know, scholars, PhDs and MDivs, Masters of Divinities,
Mm-hmm.
and to the point where they actually told me we really don't want we want stuff mixed with biology or stuff mixed with psychology. We don't want anything just full on philosophical.
Okay.
And so going back and forth with, different shows and I guess universities and such, being able to receive a contract with 26 episodes for the show that I now have and going on its second season or in the middle of its second season, I would say like that has been my greatest thing because initially I had a radio show that I was supposed to do, but that fell through due to some sort of funding difficulties and lingo that I wasn't familiar with. And when I thought like that was supposed to be my haha, but that fell through, and then a year and a half later, receiving this contract was just like, man, I don't feel the aha that I felt before, but this is still a great opportunity and something to grow from.
Okay. Well, that's pretty cool. Philip, how about you?
Um, the question again? I want to make sure.
What's been your favorite job so far?
Oh, being on this program. How about that?
Very true.
There is
Hey,
no
Linwood,
point in kissing up to
Linwood.
me. I have nothing for you.
Baby. Damn it. I would say the two of them. I would say the Law and Order and the Dora the Explorer.
Okay.
Is
Yeah,
just
that's
sort of
crazy. That's cool.
ingrained in the societal mind.
Yeah.
So being able to be the bear and do that voice to kids that are like, oh my God, it was threefold. It was also Grand Theft Auto 5 because there's a whole different audience for that.
Yeah.
But I would say no, knowing that I'm not really part of the mainstream psyche, to be in the mainstream psyche is pretty cool for as an outsider.
Right.
Because people would meet me at a party or whatever. You're not that guy, and then I would do it, and they're like, "Oh my God, you're that guy," So I don't try to name drop because I don't want to hurt anybody's feet.
Sure.
I'm not that kind of guy. I'm very humble, modest. I mean, part of me is a samba dancer. I just have to keep doing that.
And they're not modest, so
No, the samba dancers are a little flamboyant. Yeah.
Um, Now I know you're both pretty busy guys. But how do you balance? How do you find a work-life balance? Or do you have lives?
Yeah, I do a lot of, if I want to go out or do stuff, I usually do it during the middle or the beginning of the week. And then my weekends are for me, which is kind of opposite of people that have a 9 to 5 where they're all caught up in the Monday through Friday and then they jam everything in on the weekends. For me, that works. Amazon shopping is amazing, so I catch up on my sleep because I don't have to do anything but click a couple of boxes and then I'm good to go. and I try. Linwood would probably understand this. I try not to be part of the norm. I hate waiting in line. I don't want to be part of that crowd, so I try to put my life in a different perspective. I actually go to the bank.
You go to the bank.
Crazy. I go to the bank because I get my checks from Law and Order and Dora the Explorer. Every time there's an episode it runs,
Right.
I get a check, right? So I could take a picture of it on my phone, put it in my bank account, but I go to the bank because no one goes to the bank anymore.
Right.
It's great. There's no line. I get to talk to the teller. She's like, "Thank God you're here. I still have a job." And I'm like, "Yep." And then, I go on my merry way.
Cool.
I did the photo thing once and I hated it. I'm never doing that again. That's just, it's not right.
Yeah.
Like,
Doesn't make any sense. Especially if the check is a regular price check. Like if they made a mistake, sure. Like if it's a $5 million mistake, I'll take a picture of that. Don't ever go to Mexico and take money out of an ATM, because once you get the receipt and you see your balance, you're gonna think you're a millionaire, but it's in pesos.
Right.
jeez.
So I was like, dang it, 500,000 pesos. Let's go.
You're not understanding the exchange
That's
rate.
hilarious. That's hilarious.
I'm rich. I flew to Mexico and now I'm a millionaire.
Yes, but you're in
That is
Mexico.
hilarious.
I know.
So at that point, are you rich with 500,000 pesos in
No,
Mexico?
because if they find out I have 500,000 pesos, I'm going to be in a hotel bathtub with ice all around me and someone cutting out a kidney.
Which is actually possible.
For 500,000 pesos, anything's possible.
What was the last vacation you took?
I do.
Wow.
I do. I don't know. I'm telling you, this is very funny. Me and my wife, we do like staycations in New York City,
Okay.
where we'll do touristy things. So we went on this thing called the Beast. It's like a speedboat,
Okay.
and it goes on the Hudson River, and it drives around the Statue of Liberty and then comes back.
Cool.
And we did it. It was great. It was great. We wear I Love New York t-shirts. People think we're tourists. It's awesome. So we've been doing that, just trying to, embrace the city, and I'm going to on Monday, we're going to go to a rooftop pool in Brooklyn. That's
Pool
part
on
of
a
a
roof.
hotel. Yeah, there's a pool on a roof, and we're
I thought
going
it
to
was a joke my entire life.
Yeah, so we're gonna try that. So we're doing that kind of touristy stuff.
Well, you were going to do touristy stuff if you went somewhere, so.
Right? Yeah. We're doing it. But everybody asks us, "Oh, where are you from?" And we're like, "New York." They're like, "This is weird." And I'm like, "No, it's not. I'd like to see the Statue of Liberty, and that's fun."
Yeah. Yeah, I went to the Statue of Liberty as a kid. We actually got to walk up into her head.
Oh, there you
Yeah.
go.
So I guess you can't do that anymore.
Nah, they got a lot of things. We just drove by her. That's
Yeah.
fine.
But not as big as I thought it was going to be.
No, that's what a lot of people say.
Yeah.
Yep.
That was weird.
Very green though.
Yes.
It is definitely.
Definitely green.
I've never been.
You should go.
Yeah, you should go. It's kind of surreal.
Yeah.
When you're on a boat and it goes by, it's like a tracking shot in a movie. You're waiting for like the Godzilla to rip the thing apart or whatever, but it's pretty cool.
You blew it up. Damn you all!
What are you gonna where you gonna go in Boston? What are you gonna do? Where you gonna walk to? What are you gonna look at? Harvard Yard.
Harvard Yard.
The Commons. The Commons. That's the only. The only vacation spot, which is under construction.
How about you, Linwood? Where was the last vacation you took?
Um, maybe 2019. My now wife and I went to Maine, stayed in the cabin for like 8 days,
Ooh.
and just ventured around the border of Maine and New Hampshire, and
Okay.
yeah, that was a vacation.
Yeah.
Well, to us,
Sounds like it.
What month was that? What time of year?
July.
Oh, okay. How were the mosquitoes? They weren't too bad.
No, they were bad. They're
Yeah,
they're they're
I've heard that
ridiculous up
about
there.
Maine. Yeah, I
Yeah,
heard that.
they're like a different breed over there. I don't
Yeah, they
know.
don't tell you. Bill, these mosquitoes, because my brother went. These mosquitoes are like dragons.
Yeah.
Yeah, they
Well, it
are
is the state bird.
literally
after
this
all.
size.
Yeah. They don't they have no shame at all.
No conscience. It's true. And they fly in packs.
Yeah.
And they're not, usually mosquitoes are like, oh, he's looking, I'm just gonna fly away, and no, they don't care. They just
They're out for
they'll land
blood.
on you.
Yes, they want the blood.
They'll land on you, start sucking your blood, and when you look, they look at you.
Yeah, and they look at you and go, they look at you and go, your cholesterol's a little high. I don't know if I should be here right now.
It's true.
Did you know only female mosquitoes suck blood?
I did. I learned
Yeah.
that. I did. I did.
Yeah.
It
So yeah,
makes sense.
the male's not quite as mean.
Yeah.
Yeah, we started
Makes
getting
sense.
these ankle biter mosquitoes a couple of years ago, and they never fly any higher than that. And so they come up and they'll if you're wearing socks and pants, then you're probably okay. But yeah, if you're in flip flops or something, then you're done. And yeah, it's really annoying. But yeah. Let's see. What song gets stuck in your head when you like hear it on the radio or something?
I don't have a song, but I can do something that'll mess with your
Oh
brains.
no.
Unless you're not a big fan, and then it won't affect you. But I quote all the time from The Big Lebowski. I quote everything from that movie, random times in a day. A big somehow that movie stuck in my head.
Wait a minute, your sound went out for a second. What movie?
Oh, I said I quote random sentences from the movie The Big Lebowski all the time.
Oh man, I love that movie.
So, like, I'll be on a Zoom call and someone will say Quintana, and I'll say, "Yeah, that guy can roll, man." And they'll be like, "What are you talking about?" And I said, "The Chinaman is not the issue, dude. Okay, please use the preferred nomenclature." So everybody's like they want me to record when I slide in a Lebowski into a live something, into a Zoom or whatever. Yeah,
That is a deadly slide, though. That is deadly.
it is. I mean, if you don't know the movie, like I have the sweater, I have the dude sweater,
Okay.
an official sweater, and I'd be in Rite Aid, and people will stop me in line, being like, "How do I know you?" And I'm like, "It's the sweater, man. The dude abides." Oh, Lebowski! I'm like, "Yeah,
The dude abides.
you're a Lebowski. I'm a Lebowski."
We're all
All
Lebowski.
the bums lost. I say, do what your parents did. Get a job, sir. You don't dress like this on a weekday. Oh, what day is it? It's a Monday. See, so you got me on a tangent. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Tangent on.
The show is all about tangents.
I know, but I got to get going because my battery's gonna run out on my computer. But
Oh no. Oh yeah. Well, we've been doing this for more than an hour.
yeah, that's all right. No, I'm not. I'm not. I'm just gonna, see how long I can last.
Till death.
Okay.
Till death.
Till death. Your revolution is over, Lebowski.
Oh.
What's your song, Linwood? You got a song. What is it?
What's your song?
I don't even listen to the radio.
No, we're
But
talking about
Wow.
your song. Forget pop music. What's your song? Whatever.
Yeah.
but I would say "Keep Your Head Up" by Tupac then, because I was listening to that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. What's what's the best lesson you've learned from that? What's the lesson you learned from that song? From Keep Your Head Up.
Go through it. Uh, go through it. End of the day, that's all that matters is that you went through it and that you can, I don't know, inspire somebody to do something that you maybe can't, or you can take that, let them take that next step that you may be limited in, or it's not all just for us.
Okay. For sure. Yeah, makes me think of an old Winston Churchill saying, was if you find yourself going through hell, don't stop.
Mm. You might get stuck.
Yeah, you don't want to get stuck in the middle of hell. Um, but yeah, Philip, what's the lesson of the Big Lebowski?
Um, let's see.
Watch which direction the wind's blowing when you're trying to dump somebody's ashes.
There you go. That's a very good one. Donnie was a great bowler.
Yep.
And a surfer. I would say you got to have the ringer. The whites. Yeah, that's a lesson from the Lebowski. Stay out of Malibu. This is a good one. And I'm not a big. I'm sort of like Lebowski. I'm not a big fan of the Eagles. I like their songs, but I'm not a fan. That's pretty much it.
Yeah.
Just the dude abides.
The dude
That's all.
abides. The dude must abide.
I went. This is crazy. So one time, me and my best friend went. We're huge fans of the movie. And do you remember the Nintendo Wii? Do you remember the craze of the Nintendo Wii?
Yeah.
So they had a screening in New York of the movie, and afterward, you could play the Nintendo Wii bowling game as the characters from Lebowski. And we did.
What?
Yes. There was you could be any character you want and bowl on the Nintendo Wii as Bunny Lebowski if you wanted.
Nice.
So it was pretty wild. And there's a whole cult and their tours, and it's crazy about the movie. But yeah.
Did you know you can get ordained at the religion of Dudism?
Yes, yeah, I saw that.
Yeah,
I saw that.
yeah. Be able to do
valued. This is a valued rug.
Yes.
And he peed on it.
Yeah.
Peed
Well,
on my rug.
it really brought all the furniture together. It just brought everything together.
And this guy peed on it. He peed on your rug. Phone's ringing, dude. Thank you, Donnie. I can go on and on. I don't know if my battery will allow me to, but.
Well, is there? Well, then we can wrap up. Is there anything else you fine gentlemen would like to say to the nice people?
I would like to say I have done maybe 10 podcasts, and this is one of the most enjoyable podcasts I've been with you, Bill, and Linwood, not even knowing what I was getting into. I thought it was awesome. So
great.
I appreciate and applaud both of you for taking the time out to sort of, listen to us. And I hope your viewers and your listeners get something out of it, because it was really impactful and cathartic for me, because the questions you asked were very diverse and interesting, and I liked being put on the spot. So I appreciate that.
Cool. Well, thank you. I appreciate you too. And all the nice people should go out and watch Dora the Explorer, so that you can get more of those
Daddy
checks.
can get more money.
That's right.
For sure.
More new shoes.
Make more trips to the bank. Keep
More
those
bank visits
keep those tellers employed.
on their
That's right.
toes.
It's all
On their
about the
toes.
economy. About the economy.
That's right. That's right. Watch Dora the Explorer. It helps the economy.
Thank you. Gracias. Sorry, gracias.
How about you, Linwood? Anything to say to the nice people?
Yeah, I mean, keep your head up, and exercise that empathy, dig into who you are, and life is an act.
Okay. And keep an eye out for that Justification podcast on, wait a minute. Oh, I've forgotten the name of the network.
Preach the Word Network.
Preach the Word Network. Okay, there we go. Preach the Word Network. And keep an eye out for Linwood's books. Can they find your books on Amazon, or where can they go to find them?
Yeah, Amazon. You just have to Google my name. Everything will pop up.
Linwood Jackson Jr.
Yep, or my
Wait
website.
a minute. Wait, Linwood. I just Googled your name, and you're a doctor of samba dancing as well?
I don't like to talk about it. I really
Okay, I
don't,
just want to make sure.
because it's a thing. It's like Fight Club. You
Oh, I
you
got
don't. Yeah, you don't. But I am.
So am I gonna get in trouble?
We might have to make you dance till you drop. So
Okay.
get
All
those
right.
hips rolling. Get those hips
Alright.
rolling.
All right.
Reform on Learning, and Linwood Jackson Jr. about Linwood Jackson Jr. Nice. Oh, you have an IMDb page.
I do.
Yeah,
For a guy who doesn't own a television.
for a guy who doesn't own a television.
Yeah, I was. Yeah, I had to think about that just now. But yeah, I do. Yeah.
I have one too, but they're garbage, so don't worry about
Yeah,
it.
no. I don't
Wait,
think
the
I have.
television?
I don't think. Oh, let's see.
I
Let's
don't
bring
have
it
a
up.
television.
Mine probably has me with a full head of hair, so I'll tell you what I think about it.
Linwood Jackson Jr. is an author, poet, and philosopher writing on personal and devotional health. Huh. Interesting.
I like that.
Yeah. People bio. Yeah, it goes on. It sounds like it's talking about you.
I haven't even looked. I haven't even looked
There
at
they
it.
go. Here they go. The Linwood Modesty Tour. Here we go.
I don't know. It's not even a lie.
Okay. The last question of the night. Consider a hot dog in a bun. Is it a sandwich?
Jeez.
I
Well,
philosophized about this a long time. Linwood, you have too. We've deliberated on this together, right?
I I don't know if I can, because a sandwich is top and bottom. This is east and west.
Well, what about an open-faced sandwich? That's only bottom. Unless you flip it upside down and then it's only top. But
I don't know.
Okay. How about this? Maybe I can try maybe get a happy medium. On a menu, a hot dog is not put under sandwiches, correct? It's its own thing.
correct. Correct.
Then then it's not technically, in a commercial world, it's not a sandwich.
Okay.
That was
Just
very
like
scientific.
just like French onion soup is separate from soup of the day,
Right.
right?
Which can't
That is
possibly be
true.
any good because they change it every day.
Right.
Still true. Jeez.
But if you can dip your hot dog in your French onion soup, then you got something.
Okay.
Then you got a soup dog.
Soup dog.
Soup doggy dog.
Now that sounds like something you'd find on a deli menu.
That was straight off the dome.
Yeah, I'll have the soup doggy dog, please,
And also I want an umbrella. Why?
with an umbrella.
For why I want the umbrella?
Yeah.
For drizzle, my nizzle. For drizzle.
And it fits surprisingly. It fits.
Yeah.
And it
Yeah.
fits surprisingly.
It all works together in this universe, right? It all comes together.
You know, it's
And that's a
Go ahead.
That's our experience. I was gonna say that's been our experience doing what we do. It all fits.
Yep.
It all fits somehow.
One of the weirdest phone conversations I ever overheard was a friend of mine. I was interviewing for a photographer position out at Interscope Records, and I didn't get the job, by the way. But as I was leaving, getting ready to leave, I heard my friend who'd gotten me the interview in the first place. He's on the phone. He's like, "Well, tell Snoop I'm looking for him," and hung up. I'm just like, why are you calling Snoop Dogg? So, but I thought it was funny.
It's good.
Well,
You might need to have a hot dog and some French onion soup after this interview.
might have to, indeed.
Watch that be a thing next year.
Yes.
It is.
That's how it goes. One year I called many years ago I called like Pizza Hut or Papa Gino's and said I want a buffalo chicken pizza. They said we don't do jokes and hung up the phone on me. And then like the next year, literally, I saw a commercial for buffalo chicken pizza. Bastards.
Wow, they stole your idea.
You know what?
Bastards.
I was the voice of that commercial.
Were you the
believe it.
were you the voice of the buffalo?
Yes, I think I owe you some money.
I believe it. Royalties, please. I believe it.
Well, I'll buy you a Soup Doggy Dog.
Watch that be something like next year.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, watch out for the Soup Doggy Dog coming to a deli near you.
Guarantee it.
Every Denny's is gonna have it.
Yes, yes. Well,
Hungry,
Denny's isn't
late
going to
at
have it for
night?
like another 3 years.
Right. It'll be hungry late at night. What are you craving? Soup Doggy Dog. For shizzle.
The umbrella for the drizzle, my nizzle.
Oh,
It's
it
being
started.
pitched in an ad room right now.
It
Pitched in
started.
an ad.
Yep, gonna have to open up my own Denny's. Call it
Yeah.
Reginald Denny's.
There you go.
Reginald's.
Reginald's.
Reggie's.
Okay, I think
Alrighty.
that's enough.
We end on Reginald's.
We'll end on Reginald's.
Funny.
Yes, yes, a riot reference right off the top.
There you go.
Okay, well, you gentlemen have a fine evening. I'm going to run the end credits now, and so I'll
Alright.
be reading those off. Yeah, got a busy week next week. I've actually got 4 shows to do.
Congrats.
Yeah, I'm excited. 3 of them are sponsored. So
There you go.
yeah, I am now technically a professional podcaster because I got all of like $6.
That's it. That's just enough to get a Soup Doggy Dog.
There you
I heard
go.
they're
That's what I was
$5.99.
thinking. I'm hungry now.
There you go.
All right, you guys have a great night.
Take
Okay,
care.
take care.
Thanks. Thank you for tuning in. This has been a presentation of Bald Spots Productions. I'd like to thank my producer, my dear mother, Eileen Hatch. I, of course, am your humble host, Bill Hatch III. I'd like to thank my special guests, Linwood Jackson Jr. and Philip Galinsky. Please, if you feel so led, support the show over on Patreon at Bald Spots Pro. And certainly would be happy to have you. Don't miss YWL Online. We're taking a bit of a break because I'm studying for an exam, but we'll be back. There are past episodes available right now. Tune in next week for Rain Phillips, Christine Sawyer, and Terry J. Those are going to be 3 separate shows. We're actually doing interview shows this next week. Please like, comment, and share to stay informed and kick that algorithm into gear on whatever platform you happen to be listening to us on or watching. So thanks again, and have a wonderful whenever.